What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 73 of the 16-Ounce Gaming Podcast. It is April 20th, everyone knows as 420, and that was my impersonation of what a bong sounds like. That wasn't really smoking, in case people were wondering.
Sure.
We have Surf Biscuit couldn't make it because he has family in town or friends in town. Toast has a family emergency, and this is Roz's scheduled week off, but I have a very special guest, the one, the only community member and good friend of mine, OrganicAvenger. Thanks for joining.
What's going on? 420.
Yeah.
It's funny that Roz takes this day off.
And he's at a party.
It's questionable.
Yeah. What's he up to? So, I don't know if my impersonation of what a bong sounds like was good or not, but I think it was pretty close. Just a bunch of bubbles making noises in a cylinder, right?
It's not like the noise matters. It's what you get out of it.
Some good dank stuff. Shit. Well, we're pretty much just going to go over the news and some other dank things that are going on in the video game world. But first of all, like we always do, we start off the week talking about what we've been up to and what we've been playing. So what have you been playing for the, I guess, past couple of weeks? Because you were on a while back, but anything you've been playing a lot of, or?
Yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary. I did, of course, Rocket League. They started their new Battle Pass, which they've kind of gotten up to speed on kind of what other games are doing. They've kind of put in tasks to the game. So, use certain chat communications so many times, score so many goals with this car, that car, give you a little boost. So, that's good to see on that. And then, I did launch, Splinter Cell Conviction, because of the Xbox X update. And I haven't played a Splinter Cell game since Double Agent. And launched into it. The game looks great. I mean, I'd be convinced that it wasn't Xbox One game. And then 5 minutes into the game, I got to see Sam Fisher's creepy ass daughter, and it wouldn't let me shoot her, so I stopped. And that is a true story.
Was it just as she freaked you out and you wanted to shoot her, or?
Yeah, it does like a little flashback where you're teaching her not to be afraid of the dark, and then she just looks like this evil little kid in the dark. And yeah, it's absolutely terrible.
Oh, man.
And then did a little bit of golf club, and then been playing some Cuphead with my daughter. And
oh, boy.
It's been really fun. She's really gets into it, loves the music. But I've gotten to the point where I crack up because she dies constantly, and I always try to revive her, and she's just like, let me die.
She's like, give up on me, Dad. You just beat the level.
But yeah, it's really good to see her kind of get into the side-scrolling platformer. I just wish it wasn't such a brutal game for her.
Yeah, I mean, that game is fantastic, but God, it is brutal. I still have to play. I was doing that when I was playing Cuphead. I was doing it when my wife's brother-in-law was over, and now he lives all the way out in Colorado. But we were doing couch co-op with it.
So he went up to Colorado to celebrate 420.
Yeah, they moved there.
Tie it all back.
He's actually going to college out there for brewing. So,
oh, nice! That's can't beat the place.
Yeah, I forgot what town they in. Is it Denver? They're in Denver. Yeah. So we're actually supposed to fly out there in August to visit them.
Oh, right on. And yeah, really outside of that, I haven't been playing. I mean, a whole bunch, just little games here and there, but really trying to focus on the day-to-day household stuff as much as I can.
Are you still doing a lot of renovations, or you just talking, daily chore crap?
Yeah, I mean, recently I just kind of got my office all situated, but I need to kind of figure out a summer project and kind of running out of time on it.
I gotcha. My summer project is resurfacing a deck.
Hey, that's a fun one. At least that motivates you to get out there and be able to use it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also people will bust their ass when it rains on my deck because it's the lady before me never took care of it, so it's like algae in the wood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fun stuff. Anyway, back to video games. So that was all you've really been playing lately? You haven't played... You picked up The Division, you just haven't played it? Well, Toast has it, so you have it.
Yeah, I picked it up and I dove in the first day, and then kind of work got pretty chaotic, so...
Got ya.
I originally took a few days off to kind of just put towards The Division, and then work was a nightmare and ended up working most of the time from home, so kind of said screw it and went back to work.
Damn. That sucks.
But it's the way it goes. I'll get back into it.
Yeah.
Like I say with every other game I don't get back to.
Life happens. Sometimes gets in the way of video games.
Yeah. What about you, man?
Well, what you drinking tonight?
I am currently drinking, because of the holiday, from Sweetwater Brewing Company out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, shit.
It is the 420 strain IPA. And it is the dankest of IPAs, as says the label. It is a super sticky IPA, a super hybrid, and it is god awful.
Is it really bad?
I don't like Heineken's for that kind of aroma that Heineken has, and this has it big time.
Rabbit pee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would rather be in a house full of cat pee.
Oh god.
But beyond that, after I finish that, I have a Ruthless Rye IPA from Sierra Nevada.
Mm.
And then to follow that, I have a new one that's called the Highlight IPA from Cigar City Brewing, which is very enjoyable.
So like Highlight, like the game in
India?
Central America and India? Okay.
Yep, you were close.
So yeah, something like that. Yeah. I was thinking you throw that ball with the big hook thing, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking the right sport, wrong country.
It's all good. They all look alike. Let's just make this racist.
Oh, no, not at all. Ross is sitting here.
What about you, man?
Let's see. Gaming-wise, I fell back into Borderlands a lot, so I played a lot of Borderlands 2 lately. I want to play more of the Game of the Year edition of Borderlands, but I'm waiting for when my friend Charlie Mops is available, and he's pretty busy because he's got some big moments going on in his life. I don't want to say them on the podcast because I'm not sure if he wants people knowing. You know what I mean?
It's all good.
But yeah, so besides that, today I played a lot of that's why I was asking if you got back into the Division. I got back into it today. I actually played a lot with Toast.
Did you?
Yeah, I got myself. I'm at level 30 and into World Tier 1. So I'm finally moving along. I don't think I'll be World Tier 5 in 5 days when the raid drops, but I want to get to the point where I can participate in the raid with everybody.
Now, how are you liking the kind of end game grind of it?
Well, see, I think I just hit part of the end game grind. I mean, it was enjoyable getting to the end game stuff because it took me a while. It wasn't too repetitive. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then, Toast is loving it really a lot. So I trust his opinion on those games because he was probably more addicted to Destiny than I was. And I'll tell you what, this is probably one of the games that had the most content at release, in this genre. Just feel like they did everything the right way this time go around, and other shoot and loot MMO-ish games should follow suit on what they did with the Division 2.
Yeah, Ubisoft, man, really can't do any wrong right now, and it's good for them.
Yeah. Years ago, everybody just bitched about them, but I mean, they stick with their games, and they've been putting out some good stuff. They brought back the Assassin's Creed franchise. The last 2 Assassin's Creeds have been amazing. So
now, with going back to the Division real quick, outside of playing with Toast or any other community members, are you doing solo when you can't find anybody, or are you doing matchmaking?
I'll do solo if I'm just running around doing the little side missions and events in the world. But if I've done matchmaking for actual story missions and for strongholds, and I mean, it's seamless, it's easy, and like always, there's always somebody there. Today I did a matchmake for a stronghold and I only got one other guy, but then Toast ended up getting one, so that was good because he's world tier. He's geared for world tier 5, so he was just like destroying everything. Like,
oh yeah.
And he even mentioned he was like, he has enough gear that if he wanted to, he could drop it and I could equip it and get myself all the way up to world tier 5, but it wouldn't be fun. You know what I mean? It would like ruin the whole grind of the game for me. So I'm gonna do it. I just think I had to get back into it. I just got sidetracked by Borderlands stuff since I love Borderlands.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one to be getting into, especially coming up this fall.
Oh yeah. Can't wait for Borderlands 3. Other than that, the only things I really played were more MLB The Show. I just keep playing that, man. It's so good. You played a little bit of that, right? But
yeah, I played 18, which I probably should have dove into a little more. I wasn't playing the PlayStation very much and kind of hopping back and forth, but the game's fantastic. I mean, it has been for 10 plus years.
Yeah, this is my first one since I just got a PlayStation recently, and man, it's so good. I can't stop playing it. And then like the whole Road to the Show mode's great for like first thing in the morning. Don't feel like, I don't know, it's like an easy thing to play while drinking my coffee until my kid wakes up or something, you know?
Yeah, I know. It says a lot. I mean, especially since look at like the NFL, it's locked in by Madden, and MLB's not locked in by anybody, but everybody kind of threw up the white flag and gave up on it.
Yeah. I just want something on the Xbox, but at least I have a PlayStation to play MLB games and sometimes fire up The Last of Us.
Yeah.
But really, that's all I've really been playing. I can't think of anything else I jumped into.
That's a pretty good mix.
So, yeah, it's been a real busy week. Man, my wife and I had a pretty rough week, and then like on top of that, at the end of the week, like I have a sinus infection going on right now. Reason why we didn't record last night, like it hit me pretty hard last night, and then Toast was like exhausted apparently too. So
I know a really good medicine for that.
What's that?
Pot. Because any pot fixes anything.
Yeah, that apparently. But I don't think you need the TLC for the healing elements of, or THC, not the pop group from fucking.
Yeah, just scrub it out of you.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, that's really all I've been playing. Nothing. I mean, I guess it's exciting, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like I just did not play as much as I normally do during the week this week with just life stuff coming up.
Yeah, just sipping on anything good tonight?
I am drinking from a Harpoon Brewing Company out of Boston, Massachusetts. Their Rec League. It's actually really good. It's it says hoppy hazy light, so it's just like a light beer with a lot of hops in it. It's only 3.8% alcohol, but it has like I don't know, it's pretty cool. It has looks like either the dodgeball or kickball going across the can. So it's like kind of like meant for like playing softball and drinking beer or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, keeping that theme of hazy.
Yeah, keeping it hazy. I didn't even do that on purpose. Like I bought a 15-pack of these the other day. But yeah, if you ever see this and you just want something like for while you're like working in your yard or something, that's a good beer to drink out in the heat, you know?
Yeah, you got to have those kind of go-tos for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm liking the trend from craft beers. It seems a lot more of them are doing, I guess like what you would consider a session beer, but you know, just the little bit lighter alcohol percentage, but still having a good taste to it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
you don't have to go drink something that's like corn syrup and water.
Yep, you gotta love when craft beer makes you a beer that you can just drink all day.
Yeah. So, well, let me get through this housekeeping real fast here. as always, guys, we do have a Discord. So if you want to come on over, you can join the Discord where you can listen to the show live, which gets you a chance once every 2 months. The first show, we're close to the tier where it'll be every month, but the first recording of that month, we do a giveaway. And if you're listening live, you are entered. But if you can't listen live, you can always become a Patreon to support the show, where you're automatically entered into that. And also, if you want to support the show, you can head over to merchroom.com/collections/16OZ and use promo code 16OZ for 10% off your order.
And the weather's changing, so you get those t-shirts.
There you go. Flex your muscles in some good old 16-ounce t-shirts. I have one. They are good quality. It's survived a lot of washes already, so it's not a cheap print that goes away right away when you wash it.
Oh, that's my biggest issue with t-shirts, so it's good to know.
Yep. So, all right, well, let's get into some news. Surf with his freaking headlines. Pony's Creamy Dreams, or Sony breaks silence on PS5.
I'm not gonna Google Pony's Creamy Dreams again.
No, I'm not. Oh man, Sony broke their silence on the PS5 and made some announcements about their next console this week. The console won't be out until 2019. It won't be out in 2019, but it will be backwards compatible with PS4, which is huge. I think that's like something all consoles are gonna have to do after what Microsoft has done. It will include a solid-state drive, and in a demo of Spider-Man, loading time dropped from 15 seconds on the PS4 to less than 1 second, which is nuts. The PS5 will support 8K resolutions and be compatible with both old and future PSVR kits. It will also support ray tracing technology, have 3D audio, although no details of how that would work were given, and Sony also stated that upcoming releases like Death Stranding will be multi-platform titles, PS4 and PS5, and no details on price, but I'm going to assume it's going to be in the $500 to $600 range, in my opinion.
I would hope they never go back to that $600 price point. I don't know if you remember when they did that with PlayStation 3.
Yeah, that hurt them bad.
Well, yeah, and the guy came out and said, well, get a second job.
Oh man, that's worse than the announce of Diablo Mobile and the guy being like, "Y'all have phones, right?"
Oh, jeez.
So, what do you think of these all this information that they've released?
I mean, the backwards compatible with PS4 that was a given.
Yeah.
I think there's a key thing that I know people are going to want the PS3 as well. I mean, that was something that kind of lacked on the PS4. I mean, you could stream it and everything like that. But
yeah,
Xbox figured out a way to do it, and I would hope that they would get to it as well.
Yeah, and oh man, and then like Sony's reaction to when Xbox released it, they were just like, that's very impressive what they were able to do, and it was just kind of like that was all they said about that. So it showed you how they must have had a lot of issues when they went and tried to do the back compatible between PS4 and PS3.
Well, yeah, the PS3 infrastructure was such a nightmare on, I mean, what they did, and I mean, it screwed games for the PS3 generation that were working fine for Xbox. So, but I would think they'd be able to handle it with some type of emulation.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what Xbox did, was just give you an emulator of the 360 in a way.
And then on the SSD side, I mean, it's really impressive on the time that they're showing for Spider-Man, but I'd be curious to see what a SSD would do just for Spider-Man alone, like on a PS4, to see how much it improved.
Oh, before you go on a PS5. Like, you're saying like a PS4 external SSD drive. Yeah,
because I even know when I loaded like GTA on a SSD, I had probably about a 50% increase on load times. Or decrease, sorry.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, and this generation, I think that's a given that they're both going to have solid state drives, especially with how more complex games are going to be in graphics.
Yeah, and then you look at, I mean, they're showing a demo of when this comes out, it's going to be a last gen game. So what has Xbox One done for 360 games on load times? Probably somewhat comparable. I mean, not to that extent, but it should be.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Like, yeah, how's an actual PS5 game going to run? Is it going to run that fast? No. And the next thing, the 8K resolution, that I kind of laughed at that because I'm just like, man, I don't even have a 4K monitor. I have 4K television, but a game on a monitor, and I don't know. Is anybody really planning on buying 8K TVs and monitors yet?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's good that they say they support it. I don't think it's something that they're going to advertise it does because I don't think it's important to. I mean, maybe 1% at the time it releases.
Yeah, because how many? Yeah, it's probably more so for the tech heads there, for someone to ooh and ah over that.
Yeah, the kind of thing that I broke down from kind of the 8K and how they released this whole statement. I think it was, what magazine broke it? But
I don't even remember. Shit.
It's kind of goes back to, I mean, when they unveiled the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X, that it's tough to like visually demo this because people are watching it on, say, a 1080p display or even this, a 4K display, that, I mean, all you can do is talk about it. You can't really display it and show it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, I mean, 8K, I haven't even given 8K a thought. You know what I mean? And I don't know too many media play, I don't think like anyone's filming in 4K yet I mean, 8K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even think the human eye can register full 8K,
yeah.
But
yeah. So, like you said, it's nice. I guess in an argument they can say it's a little future proofed, but what lifespan of consoles been 5 to 7 years. So, will we be using 8K within the next 7 years? I don't think so.
I sure doubt I would, because I won't be able to afford it.
Yeah. Shit. The next thing is the ray tracing technology. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Sounds pretty damn cool.
It sounds cool. It traces rays. What if it's just a bunch of dudes named Ray running around and it's just an app that tells you where they're at?
Yeah, I don't know much about ray tracing. I've just heard that that's kind of the next big leap in graphics cards for PCs.
Okay, that's what that's all about. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So that's so that PC Master Race people can't say they can't do what a.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are curious on how it would actually handle it because I believe there was one podcast I was listening to and they were talking about the cheapest graphics card that can handle it's like a $1,300 card.
Oh damn! Yeah. Ugh. And then the 3D audio thing, they just mentioned that they haven't upgraded the audio. Whatever. I don't know what the hell 3D audio is. 3-dimensional audio, like.
Yeah, I'm almost curious if it's kind of like what Xbox has, where you can subscribe to that Dolby Atmos, and it's almost like a simulated surround sound.
Got ya. You don't necessarily need that, right?
Well, I mean, you're gonna have a headset that either can support the 3D surround anyways, or are you really gonna want to do it on a shitty headset?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's still cool. I mean, all this stuff looks like it's going in the right direction. I'm not trying to pick Sony apart, but I know some people just get like overexcited about things.
Yeah, I think overall this is a good outline of, I mean, what the standard is going to be moving forward.
Definitely. And I'm looking forward to like hearing what Xbox is, because they're eventually going to probably at E3 at least talk about something being in the works. Because I know it is.
I would love for Xbox to come out like they did with the Scorpio at the time, and going back to really not being able to display what it does, but have all the developers that are working on it make statements of how far this is pushing things.
Yeah.
Because that video just built on so much excitement.
Oh, hell yeah. And then last bit of information that games like Death Stranding, it's not surprised that they'll release on both. I mean, that's kind of given when you're jumping into a new generation. They kind of hold on to the old generation to keep their sales going, you know?
Yeah, the more shocking thing here, I really didn't expect Death Stranding to be a PS4 release, so I mean that gives some hope. We're probably going to see it in the next year and a half or so, but probably right towards the generation change.
Yeah. Who knows? It might end up being a PS5 only title.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. How many years have we seen like something about Death Stranding? And then I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's been a good probably 3 years, but
yeah,
it's Kojima, and I mean, he does what he wants.
Yeah, he does. He does what he wants.
He's got the respect, and
he's like one of those artists that can just like shit on a piece of paper and people will go nuts about it.
I don't know if I would go nuts for that. Maybe if it contained nuts.
I'm just trying to. It contains nuts. You know what I mean? Like anything that they do, like the fanboys of that person thinks it's just amazing.
Well, I mean, when he got fired or quit from Konami, I mean, what other game developer is like sought after of everybody going after him?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yep. Other console news, not as exciting, but Nintendo Switch's size. It's rumored a small, cheaper version of the Switch is set to be released this autumn with a more powerful next-gen version with a major redesign coming later. It will still be capable of hooking up to your TV. You can tell this is written by the person in the UK because not many people in America say autumn.
Yeah.
I still say fall. Yeah, I heard about this rumor and all, and personally, you have a Switch as well. I like the size of the Switch for being a giant man. It feels like it's the appropriate size for me. But a smaller version, I'm wondering how big in comparison that's going to be.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And I think like the other news about this is like the memory size was going to be smaller and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I guess after less diehard Nintendo fans that aren't going to fill it up as much. But
yeah, we're just in a weird state that, I mean, memory size in consoles is irrelevant. I mean, with external hard drives, SD cards.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be able to get a bare bones console and be able to buy what I need.
Like a build your own box type thing.
Yeah, for memory. I mean, everybody has such a different use for it, and if I could get, say, an Xbox with a 500 gig hard drive, then I'll just get a 3 terabyte external.
Exactly. Same thing here. Save yourself a couple bucks anyway.
Yeah. The curious thing, I mean, I'm happy with the Switch size. I'd be interested with if it's more powerful, but to see what Xbox is doing with Game Pass on that console. Because if I could get access to, say, an Xbox library portable, I'd be all for jumping into a smaller version I could carry around with me.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I think like the major thing they're doing with the Xbox Live stuff is to be able to just do party chat and like send messages and stuff. I don't think it's going to be anything else than that. But we'll see. Yep. So, but speaking of Xbox is sad. The Xbox S all digital, known as, I guess the nickname people have come up with it is sad, which is isn't a great nickname to have. Edition is now available for pre-order, releasing on May 7th. The discless box will cost $250 or 199 pounds. Has 1 terabyte drive and comes with 3 games: Sea of Thieves, Forza Horizon 3, not 4, and Minecraft. Surf thought Surf's thought of the day. Here you thought Surf wanted to throw this in here. Rather than 3 games, would a year of Game Pass been a better bundle, especially since 2 of them are in Game Pass? Which I totally agree with him on that.
Yeah, I'm all for that. This whole story makes no sense. I hate it.
Yeah, yeah, like to see it, like Sea of Thieves and Minecraft are like, it's obvious that they're trying to attract, to me, a younger audience and kids, so that like parents can be like, oh, this comes with games, and is $50 cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but on the other side, why not just say this has a year pass to 150 plus games?
50 games, yeah. So, yeah, I think they messed up on that. I don't know why they're doing it that way.
The name. I mean, this could have just been the Xbox Game Pass edition or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just drop the S and the word all digital and just call it Xbox Digital. I mean, they like letters so much, just Xbox D. And
did you see the commercial for this?
No, I didn't see the commercial. Was it pretty bad?
I mean, it was a very high production commercial, similar to their adaptive controller. I mean, just very well thought out. But basically, the commercial ended with them trying to figure out how are we going to get a digital console. And then somebody hits the delete button on the disk drive, and they're like, "You did it. We solved it."
God.
It was like something you would see on like April Fool's Day. And
yeah.
But going back to that, the whole form factor being the same, every single Xbox is all digital.
Yeah. They pretty much just yanked because the guys over at the Dude Soup podcast, goddamn Funhouse, they actually busted out. They got one. Microsoft sent them one. They actually ripped it open to see, because they were curious, like, did they actually just take out the optical drive, and that's it? That's like that's all it is. They literally just removed it.
I imagine it's probably a $2 shell of swapping out the top. Yeah,
and but they did look up the price of like the optical drive that Microsoft uses, and it is a $50 drive. So that's how the price drop is, and they stated the reason why Microsoft was like, the reason why we didn't make an even smaller box is that what actually drove cost up of the console, because they would have to redesign a box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which, I mean, I understand all that, and yeah, the drive cost makes sense because it is a 4K drive. My biggest problem is I would love to have a next generation Xbox that is all digital, and I think this almost kills that idea.
Yeah, I think they just should have not. Like the only thing I can think of is this to test the market for the next gen, like should we put out 2 separate consoles or just do 1 console kind of deal? Which I think they should. I still think they should do the 2 console idea just for price differences. Because I'll buy the cheaper one.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking it's a test for the market, but it's also, to me, an unnecessary test that they didn't have to do.
Well, it's a tough test alone because of all the retailers that are selling this. They're not getting anything in return. They're not selling any games in store to push this console.
No.
It's just strange. One of the things that I kind of thought about, which I think would have been a really cool selling point for this, is to throw it in Design Lab.
Oh, okay. Get a controller.
Well, say like the console's $200, but for $250, you could design what the shell of that console, the color, customize it with your gamer tag or something like that.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
It's something to drive people.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's an odd choice. I mean, hopefully they learn from it.
You got people like me that's still hanging on to that OG, and I'm just waiting for that next generation console. I ain't spending money on anything.
Hey, you're pretty lucky that's lasted the whole generation. So,
oh, it's showing its age. Like games like The Division, there's a lot of times that like textures don't fully load in right away. They take a minute to load in. Everything's like blurry for like 2 seconds, and then
oh man.
So it's definitely showing that it's reached the end of its lifespan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just tough. I mean, I understand the $250 price is a cheaper MSRP than all their other Xboxes, but pretty much for the past year now, you can go to any store and get something for under that price that has, say, like the Division 2 or any other current game with it. So
yeah. I mean, like, doesn't here in the States, Best Buy, that always once in a while has that sale of choose your game.
Yeah,
you buy the X. It's the same price for the console, but you just get to choose a game. Like, I mean, that's a better deal to me than like, here's the 3 games that it comes with. Like, why? They could, like, they'd be better off if they just did either the Game Pass included with it, or like, I don't know, like $120 or $60 Microsoft gift card with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kind of like the Nintendo Switch that I picked up. It came with a $30 store credit for the Nintendo store.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
like,
just you got options. I mean, it's up to you, and you're not being defined on what you're going to play.
Yeah, you're not being force-fed Sea of Thieves and Minecraft and an old what was it, Forza 3, not 4?
Yeah.
So,
I will say I would probably put Forza Horizon 3 better than 4, but still, it's a 2-year-old game.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, sticking with Microsoft, Microsoft have announced the date and time of their E3 conference. It will be held in the Microsoft Theater on Sunday, June 9th at 1300 Pacific, 1600 Eastern, 2100 UK, and 600 Australian. So that should be fun. I'm hoping to see some cool shit this year since they have their main competitor will not be there. Like, I hope they just swing for the fences. Do you have any bold predictions you think?
Absolutely. My bold prediction is they're going to pull Nintendo on stage, and I think beyond the Xbox Live capability, I think they are going to introduce some type of, say, Game Pass on the Switch that gives you access to.
That'd be fucking insane.
I mean, it could be as simple as kind of the xCloud, where you could stream it to your Switch or anything like that. But I mean, it would welcome Nintendo back to the E3 stage. They did it with Ubisoft for Mario and Rabbids, so
yeah, that's true.
I mean, it could be a real, kind of the news of E3.
Oh, you know what I just thought about? You mentioned Mario and the rap. Do you think that, like, this buddy-buddy relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo, you think Master Chief might show up in Smash Brothers?
I wouldn't put it past them. I mean,
I think that'd be pretty awesome.
There's no reason for him not to. I mean, even you look at, like, Banjo. Microsoft isn't going to put out a game like that, so if you can spread your IP out for more audience, might as well do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're going to drop definitely, I think it's not really a bold prediction, but I think they're definitely dropping teasers for the new console. And then they'll talk shit about the all digital version, even though it'll already be out. They got to market it. But I think we're going to see some Halo, what's the new name? It's essentially Halo 6, but they call it something
Infinite?
else now. Yeah, Halo Infinite. I think you're going to see a teaser for that. I'm kind of crossing my fingers that if we get a Halo shoot and loot game, pretty much another Destiny, but in the actual Halo universe. You know what I mean?
I mean, to keep some of these franchises alive, they need to start to branch out, because the Halo audience is dying.
Yeah, they hurt themselves with Halo 5. Halo 5's multiplayer is a lot of fun and it's very good, but the actual, like, fans that are fans of the story and the lore of Halo, like, God, that was such a horrible, horrible campaign.
Yeah, and goes back to their first party growth and all that. They've realized that Halo's not pushing consoles for them, so.
Nope. I mean, Gears is probably has a better chance of pushing a console more than a Halo game now, I would say.
Yeah, especially with the new one coming out of, a female lead. It's a good change for them.
So we'll probably see live action gameplay of that and all as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys see all the big titles. I'm hoping that there's like, you're probably going to see another fucking Forza game, because that's every E3.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see something like even more studios, like them bringing more studios under their wings.
Yeah, the one I'm really curious about is what the Initiative. That studio that's kind of the compiling of all these, big designers.
Yeah. So, you gonna watch that live, dude, or?
Yeah, I love that they've changed it to Sundays for the past few years, because I used to try to watch it while I was at work and feel like I was a professional gamer getting paid to watch it. But the best part to me is jumping in, and I think last year we kind of had a group listening to it through party chat, and there's just no better way to like kind of sit around and just talk about what's going on live, just hearing everybody's excitement.
Yep, you have those moments like the first time we all saw Anthem, and we were all like, "Holy shit!" And then we were like, "This is a Destiny killer." And then Anthem came out, and we were like, "Well, they fucked this up."
Yeah, it's not a. Yeah, Destiny was the killer of itself, but it definitely didn't pour the dirt on them.
No. Well, with that, we'll come up to our last call subject. Well, I thought since it's you and I talking, and it was possibly going to be Roz as well, but he couldn't make it. Parenthood and gaming. I just figured we could go over like balancing the life of being a parent and the video game world. You especially, it's probably even more challenging being a single parent. Like you find it.
Oh no, I have a lot of horrors.
What's
No.
It's all that dank weed you got.
That's right. No, I'm very, very much single parent.
But yeah, so like, is that? I would imagine that makes it very hard for you to have like a very good video game session going and things like that. Are there any secrets you use for balancing parent life and video game life?
Yeah, it used to be. When she was young, that you could squeeze in some games during nap time, and my daughter's 5.5 now, and then I kind of transitioned to I'm gonna wake up super early. Well, that worked for a bit, and then it just kind of took a toll on. I get out of work and I gotta be full on with her, and I'm kind of wiped out for the day.
Gotcha.
But now that she is getting older, my gaming time while she's up is gaming time with her, and
that's cool.
Honestly, I'm 34. My parents didn't play games. They didn't understand games. They thought it was just a waste of time, essentially. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool to have that interaction of, hey, I'm going to watch her play this game. I want to see how she solves these problems and just kind of see the growth on her. So that's my gaming time when she's awake, and then I may have a couple hours at the end of the night, and that's kind of where it's tough, where Division, Anthem games that I want to really dive into, I have 2 hours at night and I'm kind of wiped out, so I just kind of play a brain dead game that just lets me relax and kind of unwind for a bit.
Yeah, that's why you play a shit ton of Rocket League, right?
Yeah.
Which, that's a great game, too. Besides that. But, yeah, I'm on the beginning stages. My son will be 2 in September. So, I still get those, those sessions when he takes a nap.
Yep.
If I don't have other things I got to get done around the house, But even those, those are like a roll of the dice. It's kind of like, is he gonna nap for an hour? Is he gonna nap for 2 hours?
You start to hit that point of okay, the naps are slowing down a bit. What am I gonna do?
Yeah. And then I give myself one late night a week, and that's usually when we do the podcast. Because I'll record the podcast, and my wife's really cool about taking care of him if he wakes up for some reason while I record, and then usually I game with everybody. But I used to back in the day, game until on a Friday night until 5 a.m. But then I didn't have a kid and I could sleep till 10 or 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, he's getting up at like 7 o'clock on the dot almost every day. Sometimes 6:30, sometimes 8. You know, so those late nights hurt the next day. And I'm not going to be a douche and like lay in bed and have my wife get up and take care of the kid. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've gone too far a couple nights and was that douche in the morning, but I definitely try not to be that. But I look forward to what you were talking about when he gets a little older and being able to play like, you know, video games with him. Like you said, like I think our kids are lucky that we're like the generation that grew up with video games. So like it's something that we'll probably always be into. Might not be as good at video games as we once were, but we'll still be into them, you know?
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I mean, even I remember growing up that, I mean, you kind of hit high school, and I mean, you were either the kids, I mean, all about girls, or kind of going into gaming, and gaming wasn't the cool thing to talk about. And now, I mean, gaming with kids, I mean, rules it all.
Yeah, dude. In high school, it was weird for me because I was a total geek, but I was good at sports, and well, senior year I liked to party.
Yeah.
And I liked girls. So like it was like girls would like, I would like go on a date with a girl, and then they would like see comic books in the backseat of my car and make fun of me for reading comics, and I would just be like, what's wrong with that? Like, you know, like,
yep.
And stuff like that. Like so I was that weird mix of a kid that like hung out with jocks but was a dork. Kind of how I was like, people used to call me the chameleon when I was in high school because I could just hang out with any crowd. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah. But I totally was more into video games than I was into sports, and totally more into drinking than I was into sports because that's what made me quit playing football.
Oh yeah, I used to play high school golf, and yeah, my senior year was more about getting wasted, and I finally told the coach, I was like, yeah, I'm struggling right now, so I probably should sit this tournament out. It was terrible. I regret those moments, but that's being a kid.
Yeah, I threw my helmet at the head coach once and got kicked off the team for like 3 games.
Well, the size of your head, it was probably a 50-pound helmet.
Fuck you. So, but nah. Well, if my kid ever is in that predicament, I'm gonna be like, choose sports. I made a mistake. Like drinking shouldn't take away something that you like doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I was pretty bad back in, even though no one knew, I was pretty bad back in those days. My senior year was also like, it was just because my school like had a weird schedule thing, and like I knocked out all my credits. So like my senior year, all I did was go to 2 gym classes and then go to work.
Oh, damn.
So I just like cruised my senior year. I think I had to take 1 English class or some bullshit, and that was it. So
yeah, so I got a buddy of mine that his kids are in high school now, and they go to school, I think it's 1 day every 2 weeks, because they take all their classes online.
Holy shit.
And I was like, aren't you like concerned they're not going to kind of get, I mean, just the communication knowledge and all that? And he's like, yeah, it worries me all the time, but that's just what it is. And they'd choose rather not to go to school and work. And I'm like, more power to them. But yeah, it's a weird time on that sense.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, another thing back to the single parent gaming. I look at, I mean, gaming as my hobby. I know a lot of other single dads that it's, hey, every weekend I'm going to get a babysitter or whatever. I'm going to go out. And that's just not who I want to be to her. So
oh, hell no.
If I have a game, I have a couple drinks, and I'm here with her the whole time, I mean, that's the life I want.
Oh yeah, like it would suck to have a hobby where you had to like be like, hey mom, dad, watch the kid for the weekend so I can go like take my car to the car show, you know, or some shit.
Yeah,
like that, you know. So no, like, you know, people try to make like gaming sound like a terrible addiction and stuff like that, but that's always people that have not experienced the social side of video games and the positive side of it.
Yep, there's only one terrible addiction, and that is 420.
Speaking of 420, what's the dankest video game you've ever played?
I'm gonna let you go first there. I need to think about this.
I don't even know how to answer my own question. So the marijuana game that is like dank, like mean a good weed. Like I don't know what that fucking word means. I should have looked it up in the
I know.
dictionary.
I'm like the least pothead knowledge person ever. So, well, let's think of a gaming moment that involved marijuana.
Dank is an adjective that is disagreeably damp, musty, and typically cold.
Well, thank you for defining that.
So what you say, a game that involves marijuana?
Like a marijuana moment, like say in GTA, you can sit in your apartment and rip on a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the easy go-to for marijuana moments. Shit, man. Today I was playing Division 2. I got all excited because we were doing a stronghold and we came into a random room that had a bunch of heat lamps. And I was like, shit, they're growing marijuana in here. And then it was like, no, they're just growing vegetation to eat.
I think it's legal in DC too, so they actually could have did that.
I don't think. Well, yeah, if it was a dispensary or what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, I'm trying to think of the craziest. See, all I could think now that you mentioned GTA, that's like the only game. Well, I guess. What's the like wannabe GTA game?
Saints Row. That's the
Saints
one
Row.
I was gonna bring up because I think if I remember right, Saints Row 1, which I mean that was a huge game when that came out because GTA 3 wasn't even out at that point, and it was like, holy shit, this is what GTA could be. And then GTA 3 came out, and then it was, or GTA 4, sorry. And it was like, okay, Saints Row is pretty shitty. But you could go into like a convenience store, I think you could buy weed and it would be health for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of weed in any other video games besides GTA.
Yeah, I think like Far Cry 3 had like a big like weed scene, but I've never played it. I think it was something where it was like weed fields were burning and you started to like hallucinate. Yeah.
There has to be some game that has like the fucking like comedic pothead groups of friends or something in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Once again, I can only think of GTA.
Yeah. Because you think of if you think of the story wise, it's pretty much Mike's son.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
stoner kid, because you can go in his room and smoke his bong.
Yeah, yeah. I am not that type of dad.
No. If I found a bong in my kid's room, I'd be like, "What the fuck, dude?"
that stuff absolutely terrifies me. I'm like, all right, when she gets of age, she's just gonna go in her cage. Make this easy.
Yeah. Oh shit. Well, Organic, I guess it's time to wrap it up. Appreciate you making an appearance.
Yeah, man, it was fun
stuff. So, well, to everyone else, please come join us on Discord. You can give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at 16ounce_gaming, on Facebook and YouTube at 16ounce gaming family. Come give us a review on iTunes. It really does help us out, but even more importantly, tell your friends about us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all next week. And again, Organic, I appreciate you coming by, man.
Yep.
It was fun.
Take care.
Cheers.